Hello out there, everybody. Manny here at Area 503. And I hope you all have been well since our last video.
Today I want to talk to you guys about the upcoming report due from the Pentagon that has everybody all stirred up. The 180-day Pentagon UFO Report.
Conspiracy theories that actually have truth at the bottom of them. The Corona Relief Bill the President signed last month contains a provision that hasn't gotten a lot of attention. It directs the Director of National Intelligence, in consultation with the Secretary of Defense and the heads of other agencies, to disclose what they know about UFOs within 180 days.
Well, this is going to be a very interesting year for UFOs, that's for sure, Tucker. And yes, they will definitely have to produce this report.
Lou Elizondo is the former head of the Advanced Aerospace Threat Identification Program. He's been on the show a number of times. He just spoke to the New York Post about what that report will show. According to Elizondo, we will find an intelligence failure on the part of the U.S. intel community on the level of 9/11.
The last time we had an intelligence failure in this country, a major one, which was 9/11, it took us almost 3 years to come up with the 9/11 Commission report. Okay? It takes a long time.
Wow! This report sounds amazing, right? Finally, the D.O.D. is being forced to reveal everything that it knows about UFOs. The day that we have all been waiting for is finally here. But is it really? I remember when I first heard about this bill, I thought to myself, this sounds way too good to be true. I mean, the outgoing president had a full 4 years to push the UFO disclosure issue if it was truly a priority for him. But remember what he said about UFOs that one time?
In the last couple of weeks, we're reading more and more reports of Navy pilots seeing lots and lots of UFOs. Have you been briefed on that? What do you make of it?
I have. I think it's probably... I want them to think whatever they think. They do say, I mean, I've seen and I've read and I've heard, and I did have one very brief meeting on it, but people are saying they're seeing UFOs. Do I believe it? Not particularly.
So I have to wonder why the lackluster attempt at disclosure by the president at the final hour, unless it was some sort of a parting gift to one of his financial donors or political allies. Anyhow, I was more than a little skeptical of this report from the beginning. And for more than one reason. That was just the first. Another reason that I was skeptical was because I was reminded of a time when a congressman from New Mexico petitioned the Government Accountability Office, or GAO, for information about the Roswell UFO. To make a long story short, the congressman and the GAO forced the Department of Defense to reveal all documents that they had pertaining to the Roswell UFO. The D.O.D. responded by producing exactly 2 documents. Now there's more to that story, but that's the part that is relevant to the current 180-day report. You see, that shows to me that when the Pentagon is forced to reveal documents, they have no problem with responding with heavily redacted documents, or by flat out saying documents and records were destroyed on an unknown date with no known authorization, like they did in the Roswell investigation. So I really don't have a hard time believing that whatever the D.O.D. is going to come up with in this case is going to be more of the same. Redacted documents and destroyed records. But before I give up all hope, I want to go read the bill for myself and see what it actually says. Wow, this thing is huge. It's got 136 pages. Let's go find the part about UFOs. That's strange. You would think that this thing would be up in the top if it were a report that was requested of intelligence agencies about UFOs, but it's not here. Let's keep looking. Well, here it is, down in the bottom, under the committee comments section. Well, that doesn't sound very important. Anyways, here's the section related to advanced aerial threats. Now we're talking. The committee supports the efforts of the UAP Task Force at the Office of Naval Intelligence to standardize collection and reporting on unidentified aerial phenomenon, blah blah blah. However, the committee remains concerned that there is no unified, comprehensive process within the federal government for collecting and analyzing intelligence on unidentified aerial phenomenon, despite the potential threat. Blah blah blah. Oh, here we go. The committee directs the Department of Naval Intelligence, in consultation with the Secretary of Defense and the heads of such other agencies as the Director and Secretary jointly consider relevant, to submit a report within 180 days of the date of the enactment of the Act to the Congressional Intelligence and Armed Services Committees on Unidentified Aerial Phenomenon, also known as anomalous aerial vehicles, including observed airborne objects that have not been identified. Huh? That's it? That can't be it. People are really trying to portray this as forcing the government to disclose UFOs? No way. There's got to be more to this. Let's take a look at the rest of it. Okay, in Section 1, they're asking for an analysis and report from the UAP Task Force and the Office of Naval Intelligence about UAPs. There's truly nothing strange about that. I mean, asking the UAP Task Force about UAPs is like asking a cook about what's for dinner. I mean, it is their one job to know about UAPs. So let's move along to Section 2. The committee is asking for a detailed analysis and report of UAP data collected by geospatial intelligence, signals intelligence, human intelligence, and measurement and signals intelligence. Now that might seem like a way of asking for everything that's related to UFOs and UAP. However, the wording here is significant, and let me tell you why. Remember that the mainstream is selling Elizondo's story that this report forces the government to reveal everything it has about UFOs.
Conspiracy theories that actually have truth at the bottom of them. The Corona Relief Bill the President signed last month contains a provision that hasn't gotten a lot of attention. It directs the Director of National Intelligence, in consultation with the Secretary of Defense and the heads of other agencies, to disclose what they know about UFOs within 180 days.
But that's not at all what this committee comment says. It doesn't say, tell us everything you know about UFOs. Tell us everything you know about UAP. Tell us everything you know about black budget operations. Tell us everything you know about secret alien technology being backwards engineered. Tell us if we've had a UFO since World War II. Tell us everything you know. That's not what this says, at all. In the bill, the committee is asking specifically for 4 types of intelligence analysis: geospatial, signals, human, and measurement signals. That's it. That's all. We'll come back to that point in a bit, but for now, let's move on to Section 3 of the bill, which is a request to the FBI for pretty much the same information. By the way, in the Roswell, New Mexico investigation, they also requested information from the FBI and got a single teletype that was redacted, so don't expect them to be extremely forthcoming either. So let's go ahead and move on to Section 4. Now this part is interesting because the committee is actually asking for a process to be created for ensuring timely data collection and centralized analysis of all unidentified aerial phenomenon reporting for the federal government, regardless of which service or agency acquired the information. And in Section 5, they ask for the identification of an official accountable for the process that they created in Section 4. So the government is asking the D.O.D. to establish a liaison for this new UFO reporting and investigation group. Now that is interesting, because up until now, groups like ATIP or the UAP Task Force have operated under a classified umbrella of minimal oversight. So it looks like some good might come out of this part of the bill, even if it was unintentional. Let's see what's going on in Section 6. It looks like they're asking for identification of potential threats and an assessment of whether or not these threats may be attributed to one or more foreign adversaries. Now, I'm no political scientist, but I suspect they might mean Russia or China. Anyhow, in Section 7, they're asking for the identification of any incidents or patterns that may indicate that one of those potential adversaries may have achieved a breakthrough in aerospace capabilities that could put the United States strategic or conventional forces at risk. Strategic forces would be nuclear weapons, I'm guessing. So yeah, they want to know if one of our foreign adversaries has got some kind of weird technology that might enable them to bypass our security forces and disable our nuclear weapons. You'll notice that they don't ask if UFOs can disable nuclear weapons. What they're asking is, can a foreign adversary disable a nuclear weapon? The verbiage is everything in these documents, and so is the interpretation of their true meaning. But either way, I'm glad to hear this, and I think it's good news. Remember how Elizondo and others kept saying that the whole reason that they came out about UFOs in the first place was because the government wasn't paying attention to the potential threat? Well, it sure sounds like they're paying attention now. So job well done, Lou. You've succeeded in your mission. So enjoy your retirement in Cancun or go home. You know, if that was your true reason for coming out and leaking UFO footage, you can just take off now. Job's done. Mission successful. I guess we'll see. I don't know about you folks, but I have the feeling that Lou Elizondo isn't going anywhere anytime soon. Let's get back to the bill. In Section 8, it looks like they're trying to get recommendations regarding the increased collection of data, enhanced research and development, and additional funding of other resources. So in this part, they're basically telling the Pentagon, hey, if you guys want some extra money to study these things, just let us know. Which in political jargon means, hey, we're buddies. So that could be good or bad depending on how they choose to spend that money. And I want you guys to take a real good look at the very last sentence of this section of the bill. The report shall be submitted in unclassified form, but may include a classified index. I'm quite certain any sort of groundbreaking UFO documents, photos, or evidence are not going to be unclassified. We all know that photos and documents relating to UFO technology, sightings, and crashes are highly classified. And so I really don't understand what it is that people are expecting is going to come out of this. Well, in any case, there is the 180-day UFO report section of the bill that has everybody talking. And after looking at all of the information, I think I'm going to stick with my gut instinct here that this disclosure event is most likely going to produce nothing useful. But there's actually another frightening concept here. Like I mentioned earlier, this ultimatum to the Pentagon actually gives them a significant opportunity to rewrite history. How's that, Manny, you might ask? Well, the D.O.D. can release a bunch of footage telling any story that they want, and then they can go ahead and destroy anything that's incriminating or that counters that story that they're telling. So they go ahead and release all this information. They say, we've come clean, and then in the future, if anybody comes up with any sort of evidence that refutes their story, they can say that they've already come clean about everything in the past and have quote-unquote official records to support it. Do you see what I mean? I guess that's why I'm so hesitant to get excited about this new UFO 180-day report. I just feel like this whole thing is going to wind up being some kind of a ploy, a psyop, or a misinformation campaign. I mean, I really hope that I'm wrong and that I'm being overly skeptical, because this could be something amazing for ufology and for disclosure to the world. But you know, I think I'm just going to go ahead and wait till I see it to believe it. What do you all think? Is the 180-day UFO report going to change the world? Do you think that it's part of a plan or operation? Do you think that pineapple belongs on pizza? I'm just kidding. But let me know what you guys think about the UFO report down in the comments section. I can't wait to hear what you guys think. And of course, the subscribe button is right down there as well. If you'd like to make friends with the subscribe button, you can shake his hand. I promise he won't bite. Well guys, for now that's all I got on the upcoming 180-day UFO report due to be released by the Pentagon. I'll catch y'all later.
As always, this has been Manny at Area 503. And I wish you all the best until we meet again. And I am out of here to continue my search for universal truth.